Hello and welcome to the workbench, and this one is a slightly different video insofar as we are working on a Jonell 1949 radio, but we have collected a second one, and here it is. Okay, welcome to another episode of the Jonell radio, and here is it all finished. Well, no it's not. I'm lying. I actually picked this up on, let's have a look, what's the day today? Monday the 28th, on the bank holiday Monday. And this is actually another one. It's hard to sort of say how rare these radios are, because here I am with an identical set. Now this one, if I just go around it, you'll have to excuse the fact that we are on the dining table, is in, reasonable condition. The top is quite shiny. You'll have to excuse, as I say, the lighting and everything else. Let's just walk around behind the camera, move the chair, and yep, as you see there. And if I just bring it round, we'll go for a back shot. This is the first one. Let me move the mucky mat out from under the way. This is the first one I've seen with a back on it. So here's the mains flex, which, let's go there. Here's the mains flex, which is showing some signs of use all the way down its length. There's a few bits. Standard UK fuse. Now I don't quite know why there is a bit of blue tack covering that. It looks like the fuse holder itself. It looks like the fuse holder is broken and the blue tack is there as insulation. So that may well be something that's going in the bin. Let's have a look. It is branded Volex, so it is actually quite a good make for the UK. And as I say, this one has the back on it. Let me get a screwdriver, or let me take the back off, and we can have a look at the insides of this one. See you in a minute. Right, okay, here we are with the back off, and this came off of eBay, and this one is in much better condition than my own one, the one I got from another guy. Everything in here is a lot cleaner, but there is one gaping hole, and that is the 6x5 rectifier appears to be missing. The tubes don't look to be wrong, although I believe that is meant to be a 6v6, that last tube there. Not a 63 type, but you never know. I'll have a look at what it is. Certainly the other tubes look reasonable. The guy, when he sold it to me, said all he could get out of it was some crackling. Well, I'll be surprised if he got anything out of it without a rectifier valve in there. But ho-hum, these things are sent to try us. Now this also has the small auto transformer that the other one had, so it looks like they weren't designed to have a big full transformer in there. They were designed to have this filament only transformer just for the HT. Now let's have a look at the condition of the pilot light cabling, and to try and get some more light in there, is obviously in much better condition than the other one, as are the grid cap wires. They're all soldered on correctly. Now with this one, the obvious thing that's missing, let's see if we can get in there. There is no dial cord on it, and it doesn't feel like the dial cord is going, I can't see myself, so it doesn't feel like the dial cord is going over the tuning capacitor. So I've got a feeling that that part of it is just completely broken. Let's having a look down the edge of the chassis. All of the woodwork is complete, so not complaining about that. And the actual frame of the radio looks to be in pretty good condition. Doesn't look to have come out too often from the frame. The speaker is in nice condition. It's slightly different to the one that's in the other one, and certainly a lot cleaner, but made by the same manufacturer. Obviously these alloy cans are again in very good condition considering, and it also has an identically reversed serial number plate. If you remember the other one, it actually has a marking on the other side that says Ace Radio, and if I just try and hold this in the right position, here we go, you can just about, hopefully you can see the original set serial number here in reverse. If I drilled this plate out from these two rivets, you would actually be able to reverse this and it would say Ace Radio and then the serial number that's on that plate. So these particular plate numbers here must be related to possibly the John Lewis service contract, the serial number contact. Who knows? Who knows what it relates to? But yeah, so this is the insides of what allegedly is a rare set, and I've got two, and I know of at least 4 or 5 others that are around. So yeah, let's stop here for a second. Let me get the chassis out and let's turn it over and see what the state of that is like. See you in a minute. Okay, so starting at the top, it appears that things in here are slightly different to how they were in the other set I've got. Now, there seems to be some plastic bag floating around, which seems a bit strange. What have we got? We've got the 2 input wires which go to the double pole double throw switch, which both go to the transformer, I believe. Let me just get around here. One's to the transformer, one's straight to the capacitor. The capacitor is also showing a serious bulge. This looks like a bit of the dial cord, so that's where that is at the moment. That also looks like the only bit of the dial cord. There's some more black bin bag here. So yeah, just a standard grommet. This large resistor here is going straight to both sides of the rectifier, very much in the vein of the other one. This is coming straight off the capacitor, which is coming off the choke wires, which are coming in here on this red pair. So that is the same. if I'm here. Everything is floating above ground because of that resistor. I'm trying to keep everything in. Now there are a couple of peanuts stuck to the output transformer. There certainly seems to be a lot less of the flat de Billier capacitors in this set. There's more of the wax capacitors in there. Also the tone switch has a slightly different arrangement than the one out the other set, so that's looking, as I say, different. None of this is obviously electrically tested. I'm not putting power into this at this stage. I'm not sure that any of these capacitors would take. It's certainly not that main electrolytic up the top here. Now if I keep scanning down, let's have a look. More black bag. Now this wiring looks more original than the other set, especially with the multicoloured stuff and the red coated stuff. Now there is the wire to the pilot lamps, whereas if you remember on the set I had originally was actually just poked in to 6 volts on the back of this switch assembly. Again, these resistors look fairly similar. Some slight differences, so looking close in, you can see that the chassis is identical, but a lot of things have been modified in the one I got. Also the soldering in here, I don't know how clear I'm going to get this, if the light is going to stay in the right places, so I'm using the lights from behind me. Yeah, I'd say generally, certainly that is very stiff and very gunked up. That will definitely need checking. There's a bit more plastic bag, and there appears to be a piece of wire just loose from the back of that capacitor. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not keen on this idea where the mains cord is rubbing on this resistor. It looks like they are only using half-wave rectification. Okay, so as far as sets go, this is certainly a lot tidier. This is definitely different, just using a smaller bit of screened cable rather than that great big monstrosity that was in the other set. The solder in this set does look a lot nicer. I'm just coming back up towards the top. And again, they have used a 1616, and let's just turn the chassis down and see. Let's bring it around this way. I'm just going to use the fact that the screen on this camera turns. The date is actually down here, and it's June 1949. So I think that pretty well conclusively dates both the sets to 1949. This one, let me just turn the screen back again. This one is certainly tidier, but and hasn't been worked on so much, but still needs a reasonable amount of work, I think, to bring it up to, first of all, electrical safety, and second, to make it as nice as it could be. So yeah, there we go. Okay, another little oddity about this set. I'm going to get in close and hopefully we can get a focus at these bulbs. That's a very flat miniature Edison screw bulb. It is actually marked British. And that one again, the same. It's not round, it's more dished. So, you know, they're fairly well corroded in place. I'm not going to do too much with that one's moving. I'm not going to try it too hard with my fingers. But yeah, that is certainly a very strange looking bulb. 6 to 8 volt British. So yeah, designed to run off the standard 6.3 volt filament line. It's fair enough, I can live with that. Let's have a look, see, will I get the other one out? Oh yeah, there we go. See what the markings on this say, if I can read them. No, I can't read them, but yeah, that's a very strange looking little bulb. Okay, and just looking through this set before I start taking a million pictures, looking at the valve lineup, we have a 6K7 there, which according to the paperwork I believe is the correct one. Let me just look on my sheets and see what they are. Right, no, sorry, V1 should be a 6K8, yep, so it's a 6K8G, yep, that is correct. We come round here and valve 2 should be a 6K7, and in here, if we take a look at that, we actually have a 6U7. Now that's strange because in the other set we also had an EF39 in this position. So is there something about this position that, you know, replacement valves seem to be thrown in here a lot? Then we carry on over to here, and we're meant to have a 6, let's just take that out, 6Q7, which is what we have, a 6Q7, so that one's correct. That's a very squeaky socket. And then the last one should be a 6V6. So this should be a 6V6, and then this should be, so this should be a 6V6, this should be a 6X5 rectifier. Now, there's a possibility that all of these will work. I'm going to, before I even think about powering this up, I will put it on the tube tester, but and I will obviously be doing the normal voltage checks, and all the other checks that you do before you power up a radio for the first time. I don't know if I'll replace the dial cord as of yet. It's not a hard job, but it means I'd have to lubricate everything else up first. But apart from those few little sort of errors, shall we say, this actually is quite a tidy set. So let's put the cap back on it. Let's just bend those out again to where they're meant to be. Put the grid cap back on. So yeah, here we have a template to follow, which will give me some better idea as to what the actual set that I'm working on should be doing, and should look like as it came out the factory. As you remember, originally when I got the set, I did believe that somebody else had been in there and modified a load of stuff. So yeah, here we go. Here's a relatively untouched one. Obviously this looks like the only thing that's been done is this tube changed, and somebody's had the back off to take out that rectifier. I don't know if the rectifier went faulty or whether it was taken out to replace another one in another set, and this was just left to sort of fester. Maybe when the dial cord broke, it was taken out of service, and that was it. It was then cannibalised for its rectifier. Who knows? Anyway, I think that will be enough for this part of the video, and I shall get back to you, and we shall start. I'll take lots of photographs, and then I'll go back to the other chassis that we're working on and start doing some comparisons and see where we go from here. The obvious one that springs to mind is the other chassis, and I'm just going to turn you round to the bench. The other chassis doesn't have a hole here where that resistor is mounted, so it's something I'm going to look into. Obviously there's some strange discrepancies between all of these sets. I think effectively they were all made from parts that were lying around between production runs. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so there you have it. The second Jonell 1949 valve radio, which is going to be the template for the other one, and hopefully we'll have 2 working radios by the end of this series, and I can use one to get the other one back to how it left the factory. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you like what I'm doing, click like, click subscribe, and even click the little bell icon just to get notifications of when the next part comes out. In this series I'm trying to release one video every Friday, and hopefully some other little bits and pieces in between, time and workbench allowing. Again, thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.